A lot of people don't realise that asylum seekers are some of the most vulnerable members of our community. They have no access to employment services, no guaranteed income, and yet they have so much that they want to contribute to our community. I think the ASRC is so important to be able to provide that safety net so that people can get on their feet and be able to contribute.
It's important to celebrate queer culture and not just think of the discrimination and we focus a lot on same-sex marriage and we focus a lot on the negatives, and it's important to get together and celebrate why we are the way we are.
It is all about joy and inspiration and transformation. So when you bring together people from 9 to 90 of all faiths and all backgrounds, it's like we create this global village, this tribe of people that really we all are. We're all connected to one another, but so often we put walls around the differences instead of creating bridges of understanding.
I think there's a great Australian kind of psyche around helping others, helping your mates. And I find that our volunteers and all the volunteers we come across are really passionate about helping the community before self. To me, that's the real summary of the strength of volunteering in this Australia that we love. That's community before self.
Our staff are passionate about what they do. We recently had a staff survey and I think 93% of our staff said we're fully supportive of the direction that we're taking towards conservation, because that's what they're there for. They're there to save species and save wild places.
The ARC list is an attempt to try to do something differently to bring about a change in their behaviour, in their offending behaviour. And it does that by looking at the needs that might be underpinning that offending. It might be they've got an addiction, they've got untreated mental illness, things like that. So it tries to address those. It also tries to bring the person to an understanding that they are committing offences and that they need to change their behaviour.
The NAB Insights program is a simulation experience run in the City of Melbourne to develop potential future leaders and also to build community.
One of the biggest benefits of the program is watching the attendees develop their own skills from a leadership point of view and seeing them deal with the challenges that we throw at them, but also being able to adapt that for the community partner that we deal with.
We make sure that we celebrate as many people as possible. We have performance acts on the concourse, celebrating the many cultures that exist. We host a citizenship ceremony in the stadium and on pitch to recognise new citizens and new migrants to Australia and welcome them into the Australian community.
It's not uncommon for me to ask people, what do you get out of your RecLink experiences? And it's not uncommon for me to hear, it keeps me alive. And that's incredibly powerful. And I don't think a lot of people understand that our work is almost a crisis response in itself too.
What we've seen since the closure of the institutions is that the homeless population is overrepresented with people that have mental health problems, as are the prisons. So I think those of us who have worked in the sector have basically said enough's enough, and we need to raise the profile of people that have these problems.
We have an incredible ripple effect. We know that many people who come and engage with the work that I do will go on to help other charities and will go on to make a big difference that we won't even know about. But that doesn't matter, it's just about making a difference. I don't really mind how people do it.
And there's actually 6 times more blindness in Aboriginal people than the rest of the country. And this despite the kids starting off with much better vision than non-Indigenous kids. And so it's very common, it has a huge impact, and we can fix most of it overnight. You can give somebody a pair of glasses, they'll see right away. You do cataract surgery, they can see the next day. So we can prevent 94% of the vision loss.
One of my passions is actually working with not-for-profits and trying to get them to build capacity instead of building more not-for-profits. We have just far too many not-for-profits here in Australia. And for example, there's 29,000 DGR charities and they raised $74,000 on average last year each and spent $60,000 raising it. That's a broken model.
I think the more theatre you take out of the theatre, the better. And the more fun it is, the more enjoyable it is and the more accessible it is. And it revolves around not just the journey of the audience, but the family.